This episode is sponsored by Cribble.
It's called a data lake because it's where your business problems go to drown themselves. Increasingly, that data is observability data, and we're all drowning in it already. You need an observability pipeline. The problem is that the real pipeline is in fact the one going from your wallet to a bunch of vendors. Cribble fixes this with a host of innovative answers in this space, including my personal favorite, the ability to replay observability data and send it to other places as if it were new when you need to. Keep your data economically without sacrificing flexibility all at the same time. Try it yourself for free with Cribble Cloud. Smash the link along with the like and subscribe buttons while you're down there and check them out. Or don't, and drown your company in the data transfer bill instead. I was recently reminded of a bizarre story that a friend once told me about a very strange man he encountered at a wedding reception.
They don't make floors like this in China.
He went on to introduce himself to all the guests.
Call me Uncle Suitcase.
And the more that Uncle Suitcase talked, the stranger his story got just by the way it evolved.
Well, I didn't actually live in China. I was there for a few months.
And as the story continued,
well, I was really only there for about a week.
Less and less of it seemed true.
Well, I've never actually been to China, but I've heard really good things.
And over the course of the wedding reception, people were taken by Uncle Suitcase's evolving story to the point where he was the person that everyone there was talking about. My friend realized that every wedding has an Uncle Suitcase. And this got me thinking, of course, about AWS services.
I'm Amazon Cognito, but you can call me Uncle Suitcase.
If all of the AWS services were guests at a wedding, you could expect a lot of interesting family dynamics. Aunt Lambda would disappear midway through a conversation with you. Cousin DynamoDB would talk smack about the other wedding she'd attended. EC2 would get drunk and boast about how he paid for all of this. And the Uncle Suitcase of the AWS wedding guests would almost certainly be Amazon Cognito.
They don't make floors like this in China becomes I provide simple and secure user sign up, sign in, and access control
at the AWS wedding. Sure, it sounds reasonable, and the conversation would no doubt be engaging, but soon the cracks would start to show. The difference between user pools and identity pools quickly shows itself to be so vast that you realize Cognito is really talking about two completely different services. Uncle Suitcase has never actually been to China. Similarly, once you spin up Cognito, you're locked into Cognito in the region you selected. Full stop. You're not going to China either. There's no multi-region here, and migrations, well, what is the deal with Uncle Suitcase is what guests ask one another at normal weddings. At the AWS wedding, they're instead wondering why migrating from Cognito to anything or anywhere else requires all of your users to reset their passwords. There is no possible way I can force all of my users to change their credentials without it looking like we've suffered a data breach that we aren't disclosing, grouses the bride's college roommate. The other bride's aunt nods emphatically, and yeah, there's no good story around customizing the login flow for UX purposes. Even the customization opportunities are limited to AWS's imagined use cases. The crowd agrees and starts to pile on when Cognito comes back from the bathroom.
Did you know that the first 50,000 users are completely free?
Cognito's apparently unaware of exactly how transparent the lock-in story setup he's spinning really is.
Auth0 and Fusion Auth offer way fewer than that.
Yeah, it's a great story, but he's completely unaware that he just helped his audience out by highlighting two very competent alternatives to his increasingly intoxicated self. Go home, Cognito. You're drunk, you're going to tell him, as AWS SSO carefully takes his car keys away and calls Cognito a ride. You just love to blame it on the alcohol, but Cognito's boasts and exaggerations were just as ludicrous at the beginning of the night as they are now. At this point, the only thing left to do is take him off of the guest list for the next AWS wedding and leave Cognito to make up new wild tales at home alone or wherever the hell it is that he came from. Amazon Cognito boasts about all that it can accomplish without the substance to back up its claims. Until AWS can deliver on Cognito's assertion that it's a simple, functional sign-in service, it's doomed to be the Uncle Suitcase of AWS services. After all, if you're at a wedding and you don't know who Uncle Suitcase is, the right answer is almost certainly you. I have to make sure my mustache is straight. I don't want to look stupid.